Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting of the Town Properties Committee to order, January 7th at 6 p.m. We'll do a roll call. Town Property Committee Chairman Pierre Boyer is present. Keelan is present, and Caitlin Johnson is present. And the next item on the agenda is just approval of the minutes from last month. Did you have an opportunity to review those?
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from last month. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then next on the agenda is just the approval of the mission statement for the Town Properties Committee. It was approved at the first meeting that we had in November, and we did receive approval from the Board of Selectmen and the Town Administrator to update the committee purpose. We will be updating it on the website later this week. And just so we have it on record, basically, it's the Town Properties Committee advises the Board of Selectmen and the Town Administrator on the condition, use, and long-term planning of town-owned buildings and grounds. The committee assesses facility needs, prioritizes maintenance, coordinates project planning, and ensures municipal properties remain safe, functional, and accessible. It also ensures public buildings and lands are designed and maintained consistent with Plympton's rural character and community identity. The community scope applies only to town-owned buildings, land, and associated facilities. So that was approved as the Town Property Committee purpose, and we'll be publishing that on the website, like I said, later this week. Next on the agenda is around the Recreation Committee.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
You said that was approved by the Board of Selectmen?
Yeah, Board of Selectmen and Town Administrator.
And when did that happen?
That happened earlier this week.
Earlier this week?
Yeah.
Board of Selectmen didn't meet earlier this week.
It was the Town Administrator ran it by the Board of Selectmen and then sent me an email that it was approved.
I must have missed that memo.
So I guess just to set precedence, so when we have comments.
Sorry, Nathaniel Sides, 25th Road.
Okay, thank you.
Board of Selectmen.
Moving on to the next agenda item was the Recreation Committee. So they were here last month asking about irrigation for the baseball fields and potentially some batting cage improvements. In speaking with some representatives around the town, there was some concern that the library and the church were sharing a well. We confirmed that that is not the case. We also confirmed that it is against mass law to connect a municipal water supply to an irrigation system. So we will put this on hold for now until further progress happens on the water project. And batting cage improvements, we haven't had an opportunity to meet with the building committee around that to see if there's any permits required for the Recreation Committee to make any improvements to the batting cage. Any comments? Discussion?
Nathaniel Sides, 25th Road. Hayes is not an official town board or committee. Is that correct? Yes, it's
I believe so, yeah.
As such, they should not be approaching your committee directly for any sort of assistance or funding. They should be directed by you and your committee members to go through proper channels if they wish to initiate or certainly get funding for any project. So respectfully, I don't feel it's worth your valuable time to devote time to something that's not going through proper channels. You have more important things to deal with.
I think that is incorrect when it says pays on the agenda. They came to us under the Recreation Committee.
But you're putting it on your agenda, which means you're considering it, and your proper response should be to them, go back to proper channels, and we will consider it if we are directed to do so by the Board of Selectmen.
So help me to understand this. So the baseball fields are not considered to be town property?
That's not what I said.
Well, that's what I'm asking you.
Of course, the fields are considered town property.
And so that doesn't fall under the jurisdiction of the town property committee?
That's correct, it does not. The Town Properties Committee serves to facilitate and carry out the wishes of the Board of Selectmen. And unless and until you are directed to do a specific project by the Board of Selectmen, you should not be wasting your time on it.
Okay.
I don't wish to see this board get sidetracked needlessly. You have very important things to consider. Irrigation, while being a very valuable and worthwhile project that will benefit a handful of residents, is not a top priority for this town, in my opinion, as a citizen.
Point taken. Thank you for the information. Moving on to the next agenda item is the review of ongoing projects. The front door project, so we have the project manager who is currently working on getting bids on the project, and they're right around, I think it's January 27th, he's supposed to have a walkthrough where one of the members of the Town Properties Committee will attend and go through the walkthrough with them around that. Moving on to the next project is the fire station citations. So for 1-4, which is the electrical panel and water pipes, the fire chief has responded back to the state, and the state gave approval to shut off the water and cover the electric with plastic, and that would satisfy the state for a short-term solution. Citation 1-5, working space around the electrical equipment, making sure the space around the electrical equipment meets the requirement. The fire chief is ensuring that that is being done, and she has also notified the state of that. And citation 1-3, around the drains in the bathroom and bay area, she has written an internal policy for the fire department and EMS personnel to make sure there's no standing water in those areas. And she has communicated that to the state, and the state has agreed that there's a short-term solution. The other two, we are in the process of determining next steps, and we'll certainly communicate what we can do when we have an idea of what's available to us to solve those solutions. Moving on to the next project, the water project. So we are working with the OPM to get updates on where they stand with the project. We are waiting for a contract. We're waiting for an updated architect diagram. We're waiting for a project plan with impediments. And currently, they projected the start date was April 1st of this year. So we're waiting on the OPM to come back to us with some additional information. Moving on to the next project, the new fire station. So we, just as an FYI, we have added a folder in the town website underneath the Town Property Committee that's labeled Fire Station Project. All information that we gather and analyze will be dropped into that folder for people to peruse and analyze at their on their own time. And any communication that we have around the project will be put into that into that specific folder.
Supposed to have a comment?
Yep.
Right there. Mark Rothfuss, 20 Montello Street. I'm a computer guy by nature and in occupation, or I was. It's the website, multiple items on the website can be hard to find. I particularly went to look for that folder today.
Yep.
took a while to get there. Once I got to the town properties page, I didn't realize, right in the middle of the page, it had, again, I think the word town properties. It didn't seem like it was a clickable link. I looked at it for a while, and I go, oh, once I hovered on it, I realized, wow, that opens up. But there was no indication that that was a folder or a file. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
for the average layman, things are not easy to find.
Yeah. Yeah, we can talk to the IT person to see if they can make it easier easier to read on the website.
Maybe even to the point, like you said, high topic items or high priority items. Maybe they should just be front and center. You click on Plympton.org and they're there. You know,
I
instead of
could-
having to go
If I
18
could say,
pages in.
in many, many Board of Selectmen meetings, it has been an issue, the actual website, the mobile version of it as well, it's difficult to maneuver. So
Like I said, at least the high priority items.
I don't disagree with you.
And,
62 question. You're familiar with how the 40B is when you open up the Plympton website? The intent was to put the fire station project right below. So that would be the first two things you would see. I don't know if that's still feasible, but the town administrator was supposed to take that and work on it.
we can check, we can talk to the IT guy and see if they can put it in a better place on the website that we can put the information in. And the next topic around the fire station is just around phase one. So back when we first communicated the new fire station, we kind of broke it into 4 phases. Right, phase one is just reset and listening. Right, so what we would like to do is to hold public listening sessions and gather community feedback and educate everyone on the information that we found. And again, let people come to their own decisions or conclusions based off of the data that we will share with everyone around that. So what we'd like to do is we'd like to hold at least 2, if not 3, and we could obviously do more if necessary, where we'd have one at a regular weeknight time like this. Maybe we hold one on the weekend. My preference would be, I know some people recommended doing it at the library. I'd like to have it here, so everything's recorded, and then we can go from there. But I'd like to, if there's any dates or times that you would like to recommend that we could start, well, happy to hear them.
Soon as possible.
So we can do one at maybe the end of January and then beginning of February.
Yeah.
And then we'll do one on the weekend, one on a weeknight, say a Wednesday. I don't have a calendar in front of me.
That would work.
January 27th. Oh, I'm not going to do the 28th.
Well, we can kind of look from the 18th on, just to give people the ability to find dates, times that'll work for
Yeah,
them.
I want to have enough time to put everything together because there's a list. We have a lot of data to put together.
Sorry, she's got
So
surgery.
we might have to go to February
Okay,
because I can't do the 27th. My wife is going in for surgery.
okay.
I was February 4th. Yeah. That's 6. And then you want to do, we can't do February 14th, so February 21st on the weekend?
Anything in that week?
Hmm?
Anything in the first week?
Oh, you want to do it on the first, both
I don't
on
know,
the first
if
week?
we want to have several sessions
So,
where people
okay,
have the
4th.
opportunity to get together, we need to find times that work and dates that work, so.
Yes. So
Anybody have
recommend-
preference on days of the week, weekends, times?
So what we're thinking now is February, I can't do this, I can't do the end of January. February 4th, Wednesday, let's say, so our regular time is 6 PM, and then we could do the 7th. We want to keep them that close together. Or we could separate it and do the 21st, which would be a Saturday. On 21st? Okay.
And
Yes.
I think that there's a zoning board meeting on the 4th. I think.
On the 4th? The 2nd, Monday, okay?
Yep.
February 2nd?
Groundhog
That
Day.
work?
It's
Okay,
Groundhog
so
Day.
February 2nd, and then February 7th. And if we have to have more, we'll have more. February 7th, work for you? Weekend time, 10 a.m.
That's good.
What time on the 7th?
So February 2nd, we'll say 6 p.m., that's a Monday night, and February 7th at 10 a.m. And we'll start with those two, and then we can throw it out to the town if they'd like to have more. And again, what the objective of those is going to be is just more of our sharing of information that we've gathered, and just kind of listening, right? Listening to what people's thoughts are for the fire station in conjunction with, the data that we found, or the data that was presented previously, or whatever people's thoughts are.
What, Mark Wallace, 98 Mayflower, what are you planning on sharing with the people at the meeting? Have you got plans and things like that, or?
Yep, so we're going to share the information that the fire chief has provided to us around the staffing requirements and the apparatus that we have. And we have 10 years of calls from multiple towns around that, breaking down that information. And we have 5 years of data for the ambulance fund. So just kind of educating people around all of that information. And then we can provide an analysis that we've done, or our interpretation of the data, and then people can agree, disagree, or they do their own analysis on that data.
And is this a step towards a new set of plans for the station?
Yeah, so the overall goal is, as we've presented in previous meetings, is we're going to present multiple options for a facility, and multiple areas within the town, not necessarily this area. And we're going to look for feedback for advantages and disadvantages of, I like to break it into 3 components. Advantages and disadvantages of the land, right, response times, based off of the numbers, based off of the data. I like to break the fire station into 2 components: bays, so you can look at drive-through bays, non-drive-through bays, a mix of drive-through and non-drive-through bays, and then we look at living area. And every design will be made with all of the OSHA requirements and regulations that are required to meet the definition of the laws of a fire station / EMS station. Any further comments on the fire station? Next on the agenda, we've been over that. We wanted to let everybody know, let me just get my notes here, that we're just going to read this statement. So for the record, the Town Properties Committee received an open meeting law complaint today regarding the committee's January 5th, 2026 meeting. This matter was not reasonably anticipated at the time of this agenda was posted, so the complaint has been distributed to the committee members and will be reviewed at a properly posted special meeting in accordance with open meeting law. So we would like, are you available next Wednesday, January 14th? Available January 14th? So January 14th, it will be an open meeting, obviously, but we will speak only, the only agenda item will be the open law complaint that we received.
Could you say that again, please?
Yep, so we
I'm a
received.
little hard of hearing.
Yep.
I'm having trouble hearing.
The Town Property Committee received an open meeting law complaint today regarding,
That part.
okay.
I missed the last part that you said there.
Oh, we're going to meet next Wednesday, January 14th at 6 p.m., and the only agenda item will be the open meeting law complaint.
And that will be an open meeting.
Yes, yep, yeah, it has to be an open meeting.
I have the ZBA on my calendar the same date and time. Is that true? I have the ZBA on the 14th.
Yes, that's correct.
They're at 6:30 on 14th.
Oh, at 6:30?
Yeah, ZBA.
Well, I mean, it shouldn't take more than 30 minutes.
Right. Let me just pull up the calendar.
So,
Yeah.
so we could do it at 6 PM, we'll be done by 6:30, because there's not a lot to it. There's no really discussion, we just have to, basically, we have to comment on that, all the committee members have to review the complaint, and they have to discuss and comment, and then we have to have a vote to authorize the chairman to distribute it to the person and the attorney general.
So 6 o'clock.
Yeah, 6 o'clock. And any other items you'd like to review? No? All right, so I'd like to take, any other comments or discussions anyone would like to raise?
John Trainer, 62 Crescent. Have you thought about visiting some fire stations?
At this point, we've thought about it. We haven't done anything to this extent. Right now, we're just in the gathering data stage and then trying to evaluate that data to the best of our ability.
I was part of the old town properties, and I visited 3 of the 4 that were visited. And one of them was, and I don't want to say the name, because one was a fire station that the fire personnel were very unhappy with. The selectmen and the project manager overridden their recommendations. So I think it would be good, because we learned a lot out of that as to why they were, what operationally didn't function as well as what they wanted.
Yep.
It was very eye-opening, so I would encourage you to go that way.
Sure, no, thank you for the feedback. Yes.
Mark Roberts, 20 Montello, was the recent communication, the so-called announcement, was that developed by the select board or jointly with TPC, or how did that come to play?
Which announcement?
Well, the whole announcement of, the reset and, tax net neutral and all, that recent,
No, that was just created by us, the town property committee.
okay.
Again, one of our concerns, and I think there's a lot of residents' concerns, where it's about tax increases, right? So we need to find ways as a town, not just as the town properties committee, to keep municipal projects as tax neutral as we can. And that's what our goal is going to be. We can't guarantee success, but we need to look at it that way.
That was this board that wrote that.
Who did?
That was this board that put that document together, that notice.
Who did?
Which
That was
document?
this board?
You're not talking about the article that was posted?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so that article, South Shore News?
No, he's referring to the one that's on the website.
Yeah,
On
yeah.
your page.
Yeah, it's right under the town
Oh.
property link, yeah.
Yeah, so
It had a bunch of
that
bullet
community
points.
update is published by us, and Town Properties Committee
Okay, that
created
wasn't
that,
the
created
select
that
board.
document.
That was you, okay,
Yep.
all right.
Any other comments?
Andrew Norton, 59 Mayflower. You said at the listening sessions, you're going to present designs,
Nope, just information,
just information?
no designs, nope. This phase one is just about sharing information that we've been able to gather to let people analyze it and make their own decisions, and so that we can get more feedback from people based off of the data that's been provided. Once we're done with phase one, phase two, then we'll, again, the way that I kind of visualize it is, we'll break it into 2 or 3 different components. One will be land, and again, we could have another listening session around that, the 3 or 4 potential locations we could choose, and get feedback from residents and from other people that may not have the opportunity to participate in these meetings. And then we'll break it into the fire station. And then we'll come up with 3 or 4 different solutions or that could potentially work for the town.
What's your time frame? Thinking that you'll have new plans and
We don't have a time frame at this point. Right now, we're just thinking about phase one and creating, helping people, educate people, as well as ourselves, right? Educating ourselves and people of the town with the information. And then I think once we get that under our belt and we figure out, understand the data and analyze the data and what we think works, and then we get into phase two and phase three, then we can come up with a more realistic timeframe.
Are you anticipating that you'll have something to go to town meeting with?
I'm not
As far as
anticipating.
Funding for
Yeah,
architects and engineers and all that?
yeah, I'm not anticipating that at this time, no. Any other comments? At this time, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate the feedback and the information.
Thank you.